What's up, Power-Ups? My name is Jason, and welcome back to One Up Pokemon. So, today we're going to do something different, with hopefully me getting some PSA return cards back from PSA after a long waited it's been about maybe 6, let's see. After 10 months, hopefully we can get some of these cards back. So, in that time, with all these returns, I should have because right now, my Pokemon slab count is roughly about 30 cards. So I have 30 cards graded. Right here, I have 10 of my most valuable Pokemon cards graded. And with all of these other cards coming back from PSA, hopefully, depending on the grade, this list should be changing dramatically. But there's still a lot of these cards in here that surprise me how much they really go for. So today I'm going to do my top 10 most valuable Pokemon graded cards. Not just PSA, but graded cards. I have roughly about, maybe by the time all my PSA cards return come back from the ones I've submitted from last year, it should be roughly about a different count of roughly 400 cards that I have slabbed, which is insane. So I have this one Pokemon card covering the top. So number one, or should I start from number one? Or should I start from the bottom? You know, let's start from the bottom. So that way I don't have to use my beautiful Rayquaza. So we're going to start from the bottom, number 10, and work our way up to number 1. So starting off, yeah, that's actually a better idea. I don't know why I was going to start with number 1. So starting it off at number 10, we have this beautiful Charizard and Gx promo. Now this last slot, there's a lot of other cards I could have slotted in here because roughly they all go for the same amount of price. I just chose this one because I think this is a really beautiful card. It's a promo. This Charizard and Gx promo card as a PSA 10 goes for right around $200. Now there's some other cards I was like thinking maybe not, but the grades was a little lower, and I thought having it being a 10 would make it more suitable than to have it a lower grade and still be roughly the same price. But yes, starting off my list at number 10 is a Charizard and Gx going for $200 right now. Now the prices can fluctuate, it could go up and down depending on the markets, but right now, as of recording, this is a $200 card. So that is number 10. Number 9, I think this one, if I'm not, yes, I know which one this is now. I know which one this is. This is actually a really awesome card. I bought this card for $20 about 2 years ago at my card shop, like right around me. They said it was moderately played. I looked at it, looked it over. I had a couple scratches on the surface, but everything else, except for this, that was like probably the major one other than the scratching. Those two things. This card nabbed a PSA 8, and a base set Venusaur PSA 8 is going for $250. So that is not bad. 20 bucks. Pretty good investment, but I'm never going to get rid of this card. Not for a long time at least. It's an original card. It's from my childhood. I was never able to pull the big 3 as a kid. So having one of them in my possession right now, it's an awesome feeling. And hopefully I can have more. But Venusaur PSA 8, $250. Comes in at number 9. Now you guys probably have better, maybe people watching better slaps than I do, but this is my top 10. It's all gonna change because I just started getting into grading all these cards. So number 8, I think this is one of my favorite cards too, if I remember correctly. Yes, a PSA 7 Charizard base set 2. Now this one doesn't have a clear swirl on it. The swirl is actually right on his butt. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, see it's like right here. Right there. But that's the swirl. This is a really cool card. PSA 7. Bought this for $60 raw at the time. Now raw, I think these things go for like $200, which is insane. But yeah, bought it for $60, and then a PSA 7. This base set 2 Charizard goes for, I think, $350. Is that right? Checking my notes right here. Yes, $350. A Charizard base set too. That is crazy. But this is also a nice card. If I'm going to sell any of them, it will probably be maybe this one, because I do have another one coming up in the list. But I'm really happy to have this. I think when I sent this in, I was hoping for a PSA 6 because I thought it was fairly damaged. Did have scratching, but then as I came to realize when I was sending in these cards, that scratching on the cards isn't really detrimental to the grade. What's detrimental is the centering and a lot of the edging and corners. So if there's a lot of whitening, like this one has some whitening, but it's still in good condition. There's no creases, there's no indents on all the edges. It's really clean. Centering maybe a little off. It got a 7. So scratching on your foil cards isn't really that detrimental to a grade. So coming in at number, not 10, 9, 8, 7. At number 7, we have Shiny Rayquaza Gx from the Premium Collection. I was so stoked when this came back at 10. I remember when I was thinking about buying one of these. At the time when I was thinking about buying this card in a PSA 10, it was about $80. I didn't buy it. I actually had 2 of them. I sent this one off. It came back at 10, so I didn't want to buy one as a 10. And then I have another one being graded. That one's not going to get a 10. That's going to be a 9. It has some chipping right here on the Tempest GX, the template plate. So that one probably be either an 8 or a 9. Everything else is clean. But I love Rayquaza. Rayquaza is one of my favorite legendary Pokemon. Generation 3 has a special place in my heart. For whatever reason, I really love it. It wasn't a game I started off with, but it was a game that I really enjoyed playing, and I played it for a long time. So a lot of the Generation 3 Pokemon have a special place in my heart. Rayquaza is one of them, and Groudon is one of them as well. I do like Kyogre, but I love Groudon more. Something, just dinosaurs in general. Like a giant orca or pretty much almost a Godzilla. I would choose the Godzilla, but that's me. But this card, in a PSA 10, Rayquaza Shiny GX, goes for $350 as well. So I was surprised about that, but that is still an awesome. I thought this would probably be a $200 card, but $350, not a bad card. I love that Shiny Rayquaza GX. And coming in at number 6, our second Charizard, the base set 2 Charizard PSA 8. My favorite thing about this is that I bought this in person for $60. The other one I bought on eBay for $60. This one I bought in person, and the reason why, there was 2 of them and I chose one. I should have bought both of them, but I chose this one because it had the swirl right there between the wings. I'm gonna say rings. My R's and W's are getting mixed up, but between the wings, and I just loved it. And I was so stoked. I actually thought this one was in worse condition than the 7, but again, it was all because of scratching, and that's how I learned scratching is not detrimental to a grade. Instead, if you look at the back, there's not much whitening going on in the back compared to the other one. So this one got a, and I think the centering is better on this one as well. But it was just the scratching was worse on this one than compared to the other one. But it got an 8, and I was stoked about it. And this in a PSA 8 goes for, look at my notes, $450. Roughly around that. Now some have sold for below 400, some have sold at 500. So I just came in the middle and said, and these are all recent sales. So I was like, $450 seems reasonable. Plus it has a swirl. A lot of people do like that niche to some of these cards. But PSA 8 Charizard, one of my favorite cards in my collection. I don't think I'll ever let this card go. This is an awesome card. This is a childhood card for me. Like I said, I never was able to pull any of the big 3. Not even in base set 2. Not in base set 1. The only big 3 card I pulled was Dark Charizard and a Dark Blastoise from Team Rocket. That was it. So never the originals, but this is an awesome card. $450 right there. PSA 8. Number 5 now. We're getting down to the top 5. Okay. Number 5. And I believe, which one is this one? I don't remember which this is. Oh, it's the Ho-Oh PSA 9. I actually pulled this card on the channel. If you haven't seen it, it's really fun. Way back, I think I opened up a Neo Revelation and a first edition Gym Challenge pack on the channel, along with some other packs as well. I pulled this card and I was stoked about it. I didn't know how much this card was going for at the time, and it actually was going for quite a bit. But I was stoked because it's Ho-Oh, and Ho-Oh is one of my favorite legendary birds. So Love this card. I love Ho-Oh more than Lugia. I know Lugia sells for a lot more, but from a personal standpoint, this was an awesome pull for me. And a PSA 9. Neo Revelation, unlimited, not even first edition, unlimited. That one goes for roughly I'm gonna say 450. I might be lowballing it, but I think 450 is right, because I seen some go. I seen one of these sell for $600, and I was like, that can't be right. And then I seen like a medium of 450 at right around that range, between like 400, 450, and then some 500s. So I was like, 450 is right, but there has been a couple that have been like really crazy. A PSA 9 first edition goes for roughly about $1,200. That's crazy. But this one surprised me at the price. $450. I will put this over the Charizard because it is a PSA 9. It is getting in the Neo sets, and the Neo sets are going up in price big time. But I also love this card a lot. And it does have a throw, you just can't see it. It's right there, see? Right there. Really nice. Well, that is number 5. Number 4. I think this is... Now, these probably are all Charizards, but this one is the Charizard VMAX from Champion's Path. Pull this on the channel as well. Was actually getting super salty about Champion's Path because I opened so many packs, was getting nothing, was complaining, and then the final pack I opened up from a box, this guy popped out, and I was so stoked. Sent it in to get graded. It got a 10, and at a 10 right now, the market has dropped on these guys. All the newer Charizards, the market has dropped, but in a 10, this goes for roughly about $500. Still a good amount of amount for this Charizard. I actually think that might be a little low. This Charizard is going to go up in price over time easily. You know, all Charizards are going up in price as time goes on, as the sets become less available for the public. But this was an awesome card to get. $500, PSA 10, Charizard VMAX. Not much more I can say about it. It was an awesome pull. Stoked about that. But yeah, beautiful card. That comes in at number 4. Number 3. Now this card isn't graded by PSA. This card is graded by SGC. And I sent it in SGC at the time because they didn't have like a price level for cards, depending on, like, if I would have sent this in PSA and it got a 10, it would have went up so much in value that I'll probably be upcharged for it for grading. So I sent it off to SGC. Just wanted to get it encapsulated. I don't think I'll sell this card at least anytime soon. But this card was one of the big boys, and it goes for quite a bit. This is a Shadowless Blastoise. It's got a 7.5. So it's in between a 7 and an 8 in a PSA. 7.5. It's actually fairly clean. And again, this is at the time where I was like thinking, you know, I think I sent this off before getting back my base set 2 Charizards. And at the time, this had a lot of scratches, and I was like, okay, this is probably going to get like a 6. It's got a 7.5 instead, and I think, again, scratching on your cards aren't detrimental to the grade. So if you got a scratched up card, but everything else looks clean, it can still pull an 8, maybe a 9, depending on how much there is, but it still is in near mint condition. This Blastoise Shadowless paid $80, and I got this in the first edition Haunter, which missed out on the cut, but this one, this card goes for, and I think I priced it a little low because a PSA 8 goes for roughly about like $800, and a PSA 7 goes for like $500. So I priced this one 7.5, like $650. This is roughly a $650 card in my estimation. Still a big card. Shadowless Blastoise, not gonna get rid of it. Do like the black border around it. Really nice. That comes in at number 3. Now number 2 and 1 shouldn't be any surprise if you've seen any of my my PSA graded return. If you've been with the channel for that long, you should know number 2 and 1. Number 2, probably my most favorite pull out of anything I have ever pulled, is the Rainbow Rare Charizard Gx from Burning Shadows. This was an insane. This was, I went on a whim. I passed by my card shop. I haven't opened up packs in like a year or so, and I was like, you know what? It was Sunny Moon. I stopped opening up packs around XY Roaring Skies and Primal Clash, right around there. I stopped opening up packs a ton. And I remember I was like, you know what? I feel like opening up some Pokemon cards. So I walked in, asked, what are your newest sets? and they're like, oh, we have this, this, and this. Burning Shadow just came out. I was like, well, what about the tins? And they showed they had the Ho-Oh, Marshadow, and the Necrozma tin. They're like, oh, I was like, how much are those? They're $20. I was like, okay, let me get the Ho-Oh tin, because, you know, I love Ho-Oh. And I remembered from a Marshadow pack, I pulled this Charizard Gx from that tin, and I was super excited. What a way to bring me back into Pokemon. This freaking Charizard brought me back into Pokemon again, as I was not getting out completely, but it brought me back sooner than later. But this card in a PSA 9, now it dropped in price. A lot of these cards have dropped in price, but this card goes for roughly about $700. I think a month and a half ago, this was like a $900,000 card, which is crazy. In a PSA 9, I think a 10 at the time, it might have changed. I haven't looked up what 10 was, but at the time, a 10 is like a $3,000 card. So this was a 10, that would be insane. But this is one of my favorite cards. Never gonna let this go. Never. I can't believe I still remember that it was a Marshadow pack that got me this. But that's number 2. And number 1 has the same picture of that guy, just in a different color. It's a shiny Charizard Gx from Hidden Fates. Now again, a month ago, this card was about a $2,000 card. In a PSA 10, this card is $1,200. So it dropped in value. I'm not worried about the value at all. Everything will rise again as the market moves. Once Pokemon becomes popular, you know, the packs are more accessible. People will be back into it, kind of a thing. Not saying that people aren't into it, because Chilling Reigns, my goodness, bring those prices down. Those prices are insane. I remember I was able to pre-order a case for $500 with 6 booster boxes. Now we can't do that. Now it's like $1,000 for freaking 6 booster boxes. That's crazy. But this PSA 10 Hidden Fates shiny Charizard GX, it's awesome. But I honestly, my favorite is probably this one. I like this card more than this one. This one's just more because it's a 10. But I do like the Rainbow Charizard more. So these are my top 10 cards. My top 10 PSA graded cards in terms of value. Not my top 10 favorite ones, because I do have a Blaine's Arcanine that I really love. But that one just missed a cut too. But these two are the pinnacle of it. And honestly, this one too. This is a really nice card. The older, it's minter, it's Shadowless. I think Shadowless is rarer than the base and possibly maybe first edition. But yeah, all these cards, these are my top 10 so far. The list will change when we have some more graded card return, because I think I do have a Darkness Ablaze VMAX Charizard. I think right now that's a $300 card and a 10, and it looked pretty good. It looked pretty good. Just saying, just saying. But that's gonna do it. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you want to see more of these kinds of videos, if you want me to showcase my collection, let me know down in the comment section down below. But thank you guys for watching. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification to catch more videos. And also hit the like button. It does help out the channel a lot. But until next time, Power Ups, thank you so much for watching. This whole YouTube thing has been an enjoyable ride. But again, thank you guys. Until next time, have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!